I love these types of questions. Sometimes there's something clever that happens and they try to confuse you, but here it's very simple. What I see is right about here, you see how big is this? This is the table. How tall is it? So from the beginning to the top. All right, so let's take a look. I'll put some markers on here. So if I have to use a different tool. Hold on. If I have the base here of the table and I have the top of the table here, that's how tall question whatever this is. And then we could do something about, there's the height right there. Okay. Now over here we have two tables. We have one with a cat on top and one with a turtle on top. And you know what's coming there, something clever. I don't know what it is, but something clever is coming up. So I did some layers here in Photoshop so I could prepare for this quick little tutorial to save some time. There they are. So let's take a look at the height of that box. Let me fix that so it's the actual height. Be a little obsessive about making it perfect, but you know, that's fine. All right, there we go. Then we're going to find some of my markings about different things here. Over here, we have a turtle as a base right there. That's the start right there. I'm going to do this. So we have here to the top of the table. And I'm going to do this real quick. Maybe Photoshop isn't the best program to do this in. Then I'm going to go to the bottom of this table. And I could just move this down. Hold down Shift and Alt so I can make a copy. And they should be about the same size, and they are. We're assuming that they're not trying to trick us. Some of these things will have like a turtle with an extra head and a cat with an extra paw. How many cats are there? In this situation, it's pretty straightforward. It's not sneaky as far as I can tell. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to just move this across. And we just want to know how tall that is, just to see a little bit more. Okay, so we have a cat at the top of its head. And we have a turtle at the top of his head. Don't worry about this line, that's for the table itself, right? Okay, so let me hide these lines and ask you a couple questions. Now, if I did this, it would show where the cat is there, where the turtle is, and where the turtle is here. What do we notice? Let me move this up a little tiny bit. It's not quite perfect. Okay, you get the idea. What do we know about this? We know that there's a certain height for the table on each, but it's not giving us that information. So we have to kind of like play a game backwards. And if we do this and we move it down here, you'll notice it's not the same height. As a beginner, you might think to yourself, there's something wrong with this equation. But remember, the table never changes, and the turtle is this high, and the cat's this high. So this measurement isn't going to help us, right? What is going to help us is there is a turtle, there is a table, and there is a cat. All we know is that the cat plus 130 centimeters, right? And then we have a turtle and 170 centimeters. So with those two things on top, we know that there's a certain height and there's a certain proportion that we're looking for. All we know is that a cat plus 130 centimeters and a turtle and 170 centimeters seems to be congruent to each other. So whatever the cat is plus 130 centimeters, whatever the turtle is plus 170 meters, that could be confusing, but it's a good beginning. So let's get off to this, and I'll put this on here to show you. So from 0 to the height, that's how tall we'll call this table height. So a question mark is a variable, it's called h. Over here we have the height of the cat from 0 to C, the cat. We have 130 centimeters. Now we have 0 to T for turtle, and then we have right here 170 centimeters. And then in here with a magical 0 to H for the height for the table, right? We have 0 to cat. So the height of the table plus the cat is the height of the turtle plus 170 centimeters. The height of the table plus the turtle equals the height of the cat plus 130 centimeters. So let's write that out. I'll make another layer here for some more text. Okay. This is fun. I love doing this stuff. I know it's long and drawn out, but it's more just a fun experience to do at nighttime when there's no cars going by and people chattering in the outside of this big city. So it's fun. So let's take a look. I want to do that again. The height of the table plus the turtle, height plus the turtle equals this thing we call y. Also, on the other side of this, which is the same amount of information, the height of the cat plus 130 also equals y. Because on both sides, if I have a line that goes across, right, it's the height of this side of the equation and this side of the equation that they didn't really give us directly. We had to figure that out. So let's go up on the top and see what else we can see. So the height plus the cat equals y. Let's call this y1 and y2 because they're not the same height. I'll explain that right now. Remember how I said that the turtle plus 170 centimeters is a certain height, and I made a rectangle. But then when I move that rectangle down here, I notice that there's a gap. Why isn't it the same? Because the table never changes the height, and we can visually see this cat is much taller than this turtle. So if I made a rectangle all the way to the top of the cat with the table, it's never going to match the turtle. But in your brain, you're trying to associate and do parallels, and you do a mistake. You could do, this equals that, because you've seen it so many times in math and make a mistake. But it's fun. You just go blindly, see if you can find the answer. So this is y1. We could call it z, I guess. That would be less confusing. So let me do that. Let's just call this y, and I have that on that layer. There's nothing I can do. Okay, well, let's just call this z. All right, z. Forget that. So we have the height of the table plus the cat equals z. Let's go on the other side. We've got the turtle here, right? So the turtle, not the cat. So we have the turtle, not the cat, plus how much? 170 centimeters, which goes past the table, right? 170 equals z. So let's put that out in a substitution form. If z equals the height plus the cat, and z also equals the turtle plus 170, let's figure that out. Z equals z. Such a silly thing to write, but now let's substitute. Height plus cat instead of z equals t plus 170. So now we have height plus cat equals turtle plus 170. All right, that's good. Now, the height can equal plus cat minus cat, and then minus cat plus t plus 170. Okay? Height equals minus c, or you could just do it t minus c plus 170. All right? Fantastic. So the height equals t minus c plus 170. Let's do it down here, the same thing. Y equals y. Height plus t equals c plus 130. So height plus t, let's do minus t on both sides to equal it out, plus c plus 130. So this goes away. Height equals c minus t plus 130. So there you go. So that's an interesting formula. So now let's take this area right here and here. We have two really cool things. What do we have? We have the height, which is a formula of information here. And we have height, which is a formula of information here. Let's put it over here. Height equals t minus c plus 170. Okay. Height also equals, down here, c minus t plus 130. We've just figured this out, and there's not much you can do with that information because there's too many unknown variables. But what do we also know? What do we do over here? Z equals z. Y in this case equals y. That's y for the height, because remember, this height, the turtle, as you can see with the green, is not the same height as this. So you can't do a direct comparison in a formula. But they can be separate. So let's do h equals h, right? We see it right above. H equals h. Let's substitute. C minus t plus 130 equals t minus c plus 170. All right. Let's start to figure some of this stuff out. Let's move 130 over to the other side. So c minus t plus 130 minus 130 equals t minus c plus 170 minus 130. Let's get rid of the here. 170 minus 130 is 40, right? That crosses each other out. C minus t equals t minus c plus 40. This is very cool. So let's take that and put it down here. C minus t equals t minus c plus 40. Let's move the c over to here and t over here to solve. And I'll show you how to do that. First, we're going to find out what t is. All right? C minus t plus t on both sides equals t plus t minus c plus 40. We're finding something where on one side we can get rid of a variable, the minus t. A minus t plus t obviously is going to cross itself out. Minus 2 plus 2 equals 0. Minus 40 plus 40 equals 0. So we're just crossing things out. Boom. And went over here. T plus t is what? 2t minus c plus 40. C equals 2t minus c plus 40. Let's do the same thing here. Let's move minus c over there. So you add a plus c and a plus c. So you have 2t minus c plus c plus 40. And you have c plus c. Just getting rid of things. Positive or negative direction. 2c equals 2t plus 40. Let's do a little bit of factoring out. Divide by 2 on both sides. Right? Or just put that all the way across. C equals t plus 20. So now we know c equals t plus 20. Now we can substitute and find all the answers that we need. If c equals the cat equals the turtle plus 20, right? Let's go back to our original calculations and find out what h is. So if c equals t plus 20, how are we going to get the rest of the information? Take a look at all of this. How are we going to go back? Let's take one of these formulas. How about the height equals t minus c plus 170? What do you think about that? That's this one right here. We'll call it I. So now, let's say h equals t. What's minus whatever this value is? If we put a minus sign in front of a plus t, what's that? That's minus t. Put a minus sign in front of a plus 20, what's that? Minus 20. So h equals t minus 20 plus 170. Let's get rid of that. T minus t. H equals minus 20 plus 170. Of course, if you go from minus 20 that direction, you got 0 plus 20 plus 170 is 150. So if that was a 0 point, and we took the 170 and slid it back, there would be a 20 on this side, 150 on this side. So h equals 150. It's a long way to do it, but this is the height of that table. Units. Who knows what the units are? And thank you for watching, and I hope it was fun, even though it's a bunch of chickens scratching. I know. I'll do better next time.